Hi student, today I share with you chapter 11 in the textbook, the architecture client. In architecture major, we have many different kinds from the clients. Can be single people, can be family, can be household, can be corporation, can be government people, can be institution. So that's why we have many different type from the clients to will contact with you about the projects. So depend on each of them, we need to work for the paper and the design one. With my experience working on the architecture major long ago, I saw one of them. With the government project, it's usually the big one and it takes long time, the longer time. For example, I working on one of the high school and projects and middle school project. It can take almost 6 years because the budgets and the government, they need to approve by some financial budget before they continue with the next step. And you know that's the school is the big project, so they can start from this phase and stop, and after that waiting for approval from another state, continue like that. So that's why with me the governmental clients is the one it take longest one from on up other clients. So with architecture, the good architecture is the result from the successful design, and after that collaboration between the talent architect and motivate clients. Client may be the people or the couple or organization, non-profits, institution, and the governments. The clients, that means the client give the architect the wide design latitudes, and they can accept any kind of design, and they will pay for the architect fee. They can praise if we have some kind of increase in the job work. And different with that, the difficult clients is the people, they have a lot of questions. They usually complain about the cost, the slowly, or the time for schedule, and they have generated the limited design studio. They have question, and after that they change the idea many times. They didn't let architect have the wide area for design. That's we call that the difficult client. The clients respect architect as professional, creative artist, and the problem solver. That the client. Now we go with a few of the client type. The first one is the household client. Household client can be the single, couple, family people with the people want to hire architect because they want to build a new residence or remodel existing one. They expect architect to provide design. They can be built by one contractor with their budgets, and they usually remain environmental. The household client occasionally ask the architect not only the design for the building but also furnish or decorate for interior also sometimes. Light fixture, floor coloring, and plus more. They usually ask for the architect to do everything at the same time. This is some picture. You can see that for the household client can be the family, can be the family, or can be many generation together when they want to ask for design, and they usually ask for more of an interior design. This is so beautiful interior design, so I want to share with you so you can see one of the image. So most of the large firm, they do the house only for the favor to someone because the large firm, so that's why they usually work with the large projects, and they just work for some small for residential because their relationship with the friendly or the people, they really ask about that architect design. Now we go with the second type. The second type is the real estate developer. This one, they have the markets business. So that's why when they ask you design, they usually know about what is going on with the markets. So that's why this type from the client, they usually have something about economic success and the good return for investment. They need to design, and after that they need to get the interest from that design. Many clients develop commercial property view their projects almost for the artworks with architect more than the investment for the produce income or the money. So this is some people they need to sell for the good design, and after that they argue the better quality design. So which kind from this client you remember? They need to be they are some developer and they may be hire many architects at the same time to do for the projects, and of course they compete with the projects with the clients, and they need the architects must examine the prospective client value and compare them with their own. That's the second one. This is some pictures you can see from the client. So now we talk with the corporate client. Corporate client, that's the client often the large with decision making from top to the bottom. They have CEO down to the department head. So that's why when you work with this client, that means you work with a lot of clients together. They have marketing manager, they have construction manager, they have financial manager, and each of them need to work with the architect about their view. So that's why you need to spend a lot of time to work with the group people like this in the type from the work one. Number 4 is entrepreneurs. They have the commercial real estate client. They have individual entrepreneurs, the developer whose team is small and who may be build only 1 to 2 projects at a given time. So this client, they usually decisive, willful, outgoing, and invest much of themselves in their real estate venture. They exhibit a certain toughness and resiliency plus ability to make a quick decision. So they do everything so quick with the time. Another one is institutional client. This client, they usually have the projects with non-profits. So they usually have the school, healthcare, they have religious for temple, church. So that's why they design some projects with the non-profits. And the architect typically work with the institutional staff member from building community composed with institutional officer and trustee. Building committee may have substantial decision, or they may serve in the primary advisory for capacity to order decision make by president, department direction, or the manager. So that's why this kind of the clients, they have some commitment for that one. This is some image for you can see the projects belong to institutional libraries or some kind like religions like temple, church. That's kind of the client on institutional. Okay. So now about the government client. This one is one of the clients. They have many levels. Usually they have 3 levels for the local, the state, or federal, and each of them have different policy. When you accept from the government, when you work with the government client, you need to subset the institutional. You need to think that it will be long time, because you see the public work, they have a facility, they have the big one, for example, a park, the hospital, some kind of federal government. They have the projects from military. So that's why the domestics or overseas and U.S. embassy in the foreign country. So that's why with the governmental client, you need to thinking about the work is big, can be anywhere, not just in the U.S. Can be It can be education, can be the health, can be the public work, transportation, some kind like that with the projects in that. And they have the large in scope, so that's why they have advanced for working governmental client, much like other institutional and corporate developer client. They have many level need to go with, and the fee can be inadequate. Sometimes the limits by the status, despite the amount from the work required from architects. That's why it usually happens. An architect experience frustration is due all the way when working to the government about the budgets, about the building requirement, about outer suddenly. So that's why I remember long ago when I started with STDR architect, and after that I go with Addison architect. I have to work with another people in the projects in high school. It takes more than 6 years, and during that time I finish this one and I go to another company. I remember that one. Okay, it's number 7 is citizen and community is a client. That means the client, they work look like community or the citizen. The architect tend to be idealists and reformers, assigned not only for the aesthetics innovation but also for social change. Many civic-minded architects offer their service to local citizen group or community association in an effort to make the different sociology and aesthetically. Community-based design center, staff, volunteer architects, and architects students. They can be established many jurisdictions to help needed tenants and homeowner improvement their dwelling or neighborhood. Practicing architects have contributed time and expertise to public school, homeless shelter, clinic, and other organizations, which one they meet some of financial resource to hire architecture firm. And this one, the client working like that. So in this one, maybe architect get a little or nothing for their efforts, but local citizens are gratefully and they advice and guidance they receive. There are lots of opportunity in the most community for architects to engage directly in the public service, and those who invest the time willingly, effectively, are likely to be asked to do more. Many architects, they realize that the public policy directly affects to the quality of the built environment as well as to the ecology and natural resource. They also realize that the government legally direct effect and practice from architecture and design from the building. Basically, when I work in this major, almost right now 97 until now is 23 years. 27? Yes, 33 years. And I think that's the important thing from the architecture major is a lot of architects, they really develop their major after graduate, and after 20 years, I guess, they feel money is something not really important like before after they graduate. And in during this time, they usually thinking about to do something for can have for other people more than just get money. I'm not sure how about the other one with me. For myself, after I finish everything on school, I mean the student loan and everything, I have small family, and after that I thinking, okay, at enough right now. I have a small house even I'm not pay up yet, but basically I can control that. My family okay, not rich, but we can stay peaceful. Not really much pressure about financial. So that's why with me, this measure is the one from now on. We can do something, not just for money, do something for helping other people, especially the young one. That's the reason I become teacher right now in Cerritos College. And I hope that besides that, I have another part-time job in the city, Westminster. And one more time, I think that I can help a lot of people, especially the senior people. When they come to the city to apply for the permits, they usually get a lot of problem when they come in. And one more time, I have the chance to help another people. I feel happy with that, even I'm so busy. So I think that is not bad major. If you're on architecture, go ahead. If you're not thinking about, you have select it if you're interested in something about architecture. Okay, so this is chapter 11, architecture client, and I hope that after this one I will have the review for one of you, quiz number 3, and one more time quiz number 3 will be on November. It's soon, more than 1 week, and you have the quiz. After quiz number 3, I will have the result for at least some people qualify to do for the first final round 1. Okay, I will discuss with you later about this one in pronto, maybe next week. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.